and welcome to our Facebook Live for this week on a Wednesday. Live with you all tonight instead of tomorrow, so that I'm able to enjoy my daughter's orchestra concert tomorrow. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes for you to find me live here before we get started, since I am live a different night with all of you. Hopefully, a handful of you remembered and are able to catch me live and not on the replay. So if you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello, and we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. As I'm organizing myself here, I can finally sit and take a breather after the kind of day that we had. So I have to tell you about that here in just a couple of minutes. So again, as you're coming on, please comment, tell me hello, and we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. Let me make sure I get that. There we go. All right. Hello to Rachel. There, now I'm starting to see comments coming in. I was beginning to wonder what was going on there. So hello to Rachel, and welcome. Like I said, as you're coming on, I'm just going to give it a couple minutes here. We'll get started. Hi, Courtney. I wasn't sure I'd be able to do a live with you all tonight. We've had a very eventful day here today in Michigan. So we were bombarded with some severe weather this morning in our little area, our little community of what they call Rosebush. I live between Mount Pleasant and Rosebush. Got hit pretty heavy with rain. We got about 4.5 inches of rain over the course of like an hour and a half, causing some flooding. Earlier I posted over on my group page some pictures of all of the lakes that we have in our yard, because that's kind of what we have. It is pretty flooded out there. So we have pigs as well, so we had to go and check on them. And my husband thought he was going to, pump some water away for them. And so he started to do that, but it started to reside. So anyway, it's just been a crazy, crazy day. Like I said, I didn't know for sure if I'd make it here live with all of you tonight or not after worrying about some of the things we had going on there. Making sure my basement didn't flood, which we haven't, thank you, Lord. Wonderful sub pump and all that kind of stuff here. But I always worry, what if it fails? Because my basement is where I do all of my stuff. So, it just makes me a little leery whenever we have storms like that. But I actually came, I was working from home today. And I actually came in the basement and hung out for a couple hours because it was kind of bad. I was a little scared. It was like a whiteout with hail, and the sound of it was horrible. So anyway, hello to some of you that are joining me. I see we got more comments coming in finally. So hi to Chris and Shireen, Philomena, Nancy. Welcome to all of you. I know that I'm live on a different night, so I thank you guys for taking your Wednesday night to join me, so that I can enjoy my daughter Claire's orchestra concert tomorrow night. So looking forward to hearing her play. But anyway, so yes, it's if you hear my sub pump going on here in the basement, I'm going to apologize. But we have water like crazy, so it's doing its job. That's the main thing. So anyway, few things that I have in the way of announcements for you here before we get started. So again, I'm thanking all of you for joining me tonight. If you're not able to join me tonight and you're going to still watch this tomorrow, feel free to comment that you're watching the replay. You can still get in the drawing if you share my video, all that awesome stuff. But this is a crazy busy week for us. So I mentioned that tomorrow night we have orchestra concert, but let me tell you everything else we have going on this weekend. So I'm hoping I'll always make time to create projects for you for a Facebook Live. But tomorrow's orchestra concert, and then on Friday we have our nephew getting married in a town about 2.5 hours away from here. So we'll be heading to the west side of the state. His wedding is at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. So we were off that day. Matt and I, my husband and I, both took the day off. It's a nephew on his side. So we're heading to that. And then Saturday morning, I'm doing what I call my team card making day. So that is for all of my team. We get together and we make cards, and those that live long distance can buy the kit to go in the mail. But we have, I do a team card making day with the release of every new catalog. So I have that. My girls have Friday night dance pictures. Saturday morning is their dance recital rehearsal. Saturday late afternoon, I have a dance recital to go to at 4. And then Sunday we have 2 dance recitals to go to, one at 1, one at 5. And the 5 o'clock one is what they're calling their senior celebration. So Natalie will be doing a solo that she's been working on really hard, and doing a lot of fun choreography for that. So anyway, needless to say, it's going to be a crazy week. And then the next weekend is her prom. And then after that, we have Memorial Weekend. And then we have her open house. Her open house is June 4th. So I'm going to be in full, get it done mode here with getting ready for her open house in just a little bit. But anyway, so that's what we have going on this weekend. It's going to be crazy. Oh, Philomena, I'm definitely going to be taking pictures. And I'm sure I'll be posting them like crazy of all of the different events that we're going to be involved in. But I don't know if we could jam pack anything else into our already crazy busy weekend. But I'm going to enjoy it because I look at it like before you know it, it's going to be gone, right? So going to enjoy it and going to look forward to that. So anyway, so that is what we have going on there, which is just crazy, crazy. And then a couple other things. I think I may have grabbed my wrong notes, so you guys might be having me go off the cuff on what I was going to talk to you all about, because I think I grabbed the wrong one when I came downstairs. So I also have 3 different classes that are open right now for you to be able to purchase. I had 4, but one of them already sold out. But we have the Abstract Beauty class. We have the Let's Set Sail, which is the sailboat class. The Hey Sports Fan class. I always have scrapbooking layouts available. I do a scrapbook club. So I want to make sure you all know about my club. I know that I've mentioned it before, but if you join my creative club, I call it my Basement Bunch Stampers Creative Club, and you put in a $30 order every month, you get one of my classes for free. So it's kind of a nice way for you to get a class in the mail for free. You just pick whichever one that you want. Usually there's 3 options available for that, or you could do the scrapbook layouts as your option as well. So just want to make sure you guys know about that. It's in my newsletters. I will also post a link to the Google form in the description of my video afterwards. So that way you have that in case you're interested in joining. But if you get my classes regularly, I really encourage you to take advantage of the club because it's an 8-month commitment. One of the months, though, you get $50 in free product of your choice. So there's a little bit of a perk there for joining it. And so I hope you consider taking advantage of that. Kind of a nice perk. And then I wanted to mention the join promotion or the kit promotion going on right now, because it's an amazing deal. You get 5 in-color ink pads for free. You get a pack of the Designer Series paper for free, pack of the cardstock for free, the grid paper for free. All that comes to $66.50. You get that for free, in addition to picking $125 of product and only paying $99. So for $100, you get $125 of product and then $66.50 of product for free and free shipping on all of that. It's a really good deal, and I'm trying to reach a goal of getting 10 people to take advantage of it. So I've got a few more to go to add to that. I would love to have you consider it. It's a risk-free kit. There's really no obligation for you to have to order anything additional. If you do save 20% on those orders. So it's a great way to get some of the in-color things for you for free. So anyway, product shares. I want to thank all of you that have signed up for my paper share, ribbon share, embellishment share. I do have a couple spots open in all of them. I like to have it like an even number for me to be able to, because I can't officially order the product until I have it sold. It's kind of how Stampin' Up works. And so I need 2 more people to do the product share, please. It's a great way. It's $62 and the product gets shipped to you. But you'll get a sampling of every single pack of the Designer Series paper in the catalog. It'll all be put in its own little separate bag. Each pack will be in its own little cello bag. So you'll be able to know which one it is. So if you really like that one, you know which one to order. So I'll include the order number on that as well. So it'll be packaged in a nice, neat way for you to be able to see which ones you like, which ones you might want to get a full pack of. And you can also use that paper then in your card making and scrapbooking. And the same thing with the ribbon and the embellishment shares. With the ribbon and the embellishment one, they're separate, so you can do the ribbon or the embellishment, or you can do both of them, but you'll get a half a bolt of every single new ribbon in the catalog, just the new ribbon, not all ribbon, and you'll get a half a package of all new embellishments in the catalog. So it's, again, a great way for you to get a sampling of all the new product without having to buy all of it, And it's called a share because I share it with all of you. And so it's kind of a neat little way to get that. So those links will be in the description of my video as well for you to be able to take advantage of those product shares. And then I had one spot open up in my In Color Club. So my In Color Club is, I think that's also $62. Includes the shipping, though, of your kit to you. It's $62 a month for 5 months. And each month you're going to get a different in color. So I can tell you that May is sitting here ready to be packaged. I'm waiting for my mailers to come because they don't fit in the pink mail envelopes, guys. I'm so sorry. So I'm waiting for my white mailers from the post office to arrive. But those will ship to you where you get a pack of cardstock. This month we're doing the Oasis color. So the Orchid Oasis is the color. So you're going to get I'm looking at it over in the corner. That's why I keep looking over to the side. But it's the cardstock. It's the ribbon. It's the ink pad. It's the ink refill. It is the blends, the color marker, the watercolor marker for it. Designer series paper for it. So you get all kinds of stuff. And then you're also each month going to get a free card with it because I always make cards to go in those kits. And then you're also going to get a free embellishment or free additional product that I'm putting in there as a perk for being part of the In Color Club. So if you are still wanting to take advantage of that, I've got one spot. And that, just message me and I can get you hooked in because I am starting to package and hopefully get that out in the next week once my mailers arrive. Everything is here. Just got to wait for those silly mailers to come. So anyway, but they will, I promise. Okay, so you guys know the drill. If you share my video, you get into the drawing for prizes, right? So last week, the two prizes were the Resin Star Embellishments and the Classic Matte Dots. And I have a couple of winners. Woohoo, right? All right, so the winner of the Resin Star Embellishments is Marianne McGinnis. So congratulations to Marianne. She is the winner. Luckily, I remembered these two names because I don't have them written down on my sheet because, you know, guess what? I left it upstairs. And then the winner of the Classic Matte Dots is Carol Grove. So congratulations to Carol. Carol, I think you've been lucky in the last couple weeks on this one. But it's the luck of the draw. It's how I kind of do it. So I think it hasn't been too long ago that Carol won also on my Facebook Live. So thank you for sharing. Keep sharing because you never know. And then up for grabs this next week. So we will draw this next week on Thursday. We'll be back to our Thursday night. We have the Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. And I know that these are not retired, but they're no longer available. And I have like a lot of them. So I'm going to be giving a couple of them away over the next couple of weeks because they're gorgeous. And even if you don't have the Ocean bundle, well, for one, you can still get it. The Ocean bundle is still in the, I think it's called Ocean Tides or something like that. It's still in our annual catalog. It carried in there. You cannot get the foil or these, but I've got some of these, and the neat thing is that these go with so many different projects and cards, so you wouldn't necessarily need to have that to be able to use these. They're gorgeous. Many different colors of greens and blues. They're just really, really pretty. Okay, so those are the two. Oh, that one. And the second one is the Frosted Beads Assorted little shaker embellishments. Okay, so those are the two that we will be giving away next time. All right, so my projects for tonight. So I had to tell you that I did not have time to make my 3D project. It was my intention to do that today. My day did not go as planned when we had the flooding happen here. Again, those of you joining me late, we had horrible storms come through our area, and it was only in select little pockets. And of course, it was right in the area that I live in, and then another area about half an hour away where we got almost 5 inches of rain over the course of like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was raining sideways like a whiteout. I mean, you couldn't even see it. It looked like it was foggy out. Hail, the whole 9 yards. So we spent a little bit of time pumping some water out of our way and away from we have pigs that our girls are taking to our fair. So we had to make sure we had them taken care of out in the back because they were behind our shed and a field was flooding behind us. So anyway, it had just been a crazy day, but I did have a really cute, it was a chapstick holder that I was going to make for my 3D project. So I will make that and showcase that next week. So you're getting cards today. You're getting my cards that I had created in advance. Sometimes when you wait to the last minute to create something, it bites you, right? I guess I learned that today. But anyway, it is what it is. Again, sometimes life has to trump other things that you have planned, and that was definitely it for today. And my husband was not in the area. He was working out of town, and so my daughter was worried about trying to get back home because even our driveway flooded for a while, but it's kind of all gone back down. We still have a lot of water, but it was a pretty scary morning for us, I will say that. And then we were supposed to get more rain late this afternoon, early evening, and then the forecast changed. So thank the Lord, because I don't know what we would do with any more water. So anyway, what I'm going to be showcasing for you tonight is the Hue of Happiness bundle. It was one of the bundles that we were able to get on pre-order, and it was the second bundle that I designed with. The first one was the Tea Boutique that I showcased for you last week. This bundle is really pretty. Now I will tell you the paper can lead to some challenges of how to create with it. So I'm going to show you the paper and you'll see what I mean, because with it being called Hue of Happiness, the paper has different hues where it goes maybe from greens and purples to yellows and oranges or yellows and pinks. So you got to kind of think a little bit more creatively in your designing of how you're going to make it kind of all work and still coordinate. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area, and you're going to get a little sneak peek of the cards that I'm going to be creating with you. I'm going to also show you the paper, all the products included in this. It's a gorgeous one though. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I need to turn my computer first so that my arm is not in all of your way. So, and I love the stand that my son gave me for Christmas still. It works wonderful. Okay. So let me transition this down. I may have to adjust it over just a smudge. Yep, I probably will. You would think that I would know where to put this by now, right? One would think that, but no, I don't. Okay, so there are our projects. Woo, look at those pretty projects. All right, so that is what we're going to be showcasing tonight. But before I do that, I want to remind you, if you put it in order with me from now through Sunday night, you will get 3 of the projects that I'm going to be showcasing tonight sent to you already completed, so that you don't even have to worry about putting them together. And this is actually a class that you will be seeing. I don't like my paper crooked like that. It drives me nuts. So this is going to be a class that you're going to be seeing. I think it's next month that I will be offering this as a class. Okay, so let me show you the bundle first in the catalog here. So it is called Hue of Happiness. So here's the catalog. Excuse me. You can see here some of the cards that our artists at Stampin' Up created. And you can see the paper. You can see right here what I mean by the hues, how it goes to the different colors. You have this awesome stamp set called Happiness Abounds, which mine has gotten some really well loving already. And you have the coordinating dies. These are called Blossoming Happiness. Again, you know, and they're not the same, right? Because that would be, I wish they would be, but they're not. And these all, again, match and cut out the different stamped images from the catalog. So these 2 right here are for here. And you have some really good sayings with this stamp set. So you have here, sending many thanks for all you do. You have a congratulations. You are wonderful in every way. A happy birthday. Best wishes, friends. And wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. So lots of different things that you can. Oh, Gail, you are able to watch. Yay. Hope you are enjoying your vacation, my dear. So lots of different sentiments that you can use here on this stamp set. The designer series paper I'll be showing you in just a second, but I also wanted to show you the beautiful glossy assorted dots here. These go so perfect with this bundle, and they're really nice and bright. Love those. And they kind of got like a little bit of an iridescent look to them if you move it just right. So very pretty embellishment dots there. All right, let's show you the designer series paper before we get started. So again, the paper is called the Hue of Happiness, and this is where it can get a little bit challenging. But it's gorgeous paper. So do you see how here the color scheme up here is your Bermuda Bay, your Fresh Freesia, your Gorgeous Grape, and then it comes down into your, and I'm going off my memory on these colors, it comes down into like your Petal Pink, your Crushed Curry. Again, I don't have the paper, the back of the paper handy to tell you them all, but you can kind of see that you have that little hue going on, which can make it a little bit of a challenge when you're designing to know what colors you want to use for your card base and things. But the neat thing is I think if you use any of those colors, it's still going to go together very nicely. So we have this one right here. Let me actually show you all of these. I'm going to do them on a pile this time instead. That way, I want you to be able to see the whole hue part of this. So I'm just going to show you them one at a time. So let me make sure that you see all them. And then you have this one. So again, the hue going down there. And we have this one. Now this one is pretty much the same colors. So this one you wouldn't have as much trouble with when you go to design. This is a beautiful bundle. It is gorgeous. The paper is just stunning. And then you have that one. Now, the neat thing is with some of these papers, your dies, your flower dies, will cut them out. So one of the cards that I'm going to be showcasing, you can see right here, I used the die to cut the flower out. So this one does work that way. Here are the colors on the back of this. So you have this one right here. You make sure that's in there good for you all to see. And then you have this one. That's so pretty. I like this one. This one reminds me of a Vera Bradley print that my daughter used to have in a blanket. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's what that reminds me of. And then we have that one. So these are the back sides. They're not going to be quite as detailed with flowers and things. These are more your colors that you can just, but it looks like it's a painted in there. I mean, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous paper. All right, so that is what is included in the Hue of Happiness bundle. You have the coordinating designer series paper, the glossy dots, and then that awesome bundle stamp set coordinating embossing or coordinating dies. Okay, so with that, let me show you what we're going to do first here. I got to find which one we have. Okay, it's going to be this one right here. So the first card we're going to make together is this one. Now, what I did on this one, so because again, you can tell that there's not really the purple, some of this piece of paper right here is going to have the purple in it. Some of it is not, because that piece of paper is this one right here. So I'm going to tell you, you can't let yourself get too bogged down with whether or not you have the right colors. So if I would have cut this piece right here, it would have had that color in it, right? But by incorporating the purple in it, the purple dot, the purple, it's going to still all go together, okay? Now, if you really don't like that, what you could do is you could then say, okay, I'm going to incorporate in more of the colors that are in this part of the paper. That's what I have right here, is this part of the paper. So maybe instead of using the purple, you could have used the petal pink, and then you could have maybe used the green or something like that. But again, I don't like to get too, didn't want to get too bogged down with trying to make it all match and be perfect. So this is what I went with, and I still think it looks very, very nice together. So for this, I chose to use the crushed curry for my card base. And the only thing stamped on here is the best wishes sentiment. That flower is cut out from the designer series paper. Again, letting the paper do the work here for me. I know, isn't that so pretty? And here's the thing, you could cut this flower out of, so there's two different pieces of paper that work for those flowers, if I remember correctly. You have this one right here. Oops, I'm sorry. I know there's two of them. Yes, here they are. So these are the two pieces of paper that will cut out to match that die. So you could use them in any color that you wanted to. You could do it in the navy, you could do it in the fresh freesia. So all of those papers will work to cut that out. So in my classes, everyone I think got different color because it's kind of hard to do it any other way, right? Okay, so we are going to start by assembling our designer series paper to our card base, or our little card layer here. And if you didn't want to use the flowers, I could have used this. It would have looked just as nice, but I'm a floral person. Most of you know I like floral. So I had to use the floral. On this I used Fresh Freesia, and I did emboss that with the, it's the Worn. I forget what it's called. Something Worn embossing folder. It carried over into our annual catalog. Hi, Sonia, and thank you for joining. So I used that, I think, on a couple of the cards tonight, but it is not a new one. It is one that just carried over, and I thought it was a pretty good neutral one to use for this. And I'm just going to adhere this down to the center, but I just like that little bit of texture around the outer edge there. So again, layer, layer, layer. The hardest thing for me on this set was to try to come up with a ribbon that I wanted to use for the cards, because there isn't a ribbon that comes with this bundle. And I really thought it needed some ribbon. And so I chose to use the wide. Sometimes this ribbon can be hard to figure out and how to use. But I thought it looked good on this. Now, the knot is a little thick and a little bit, thicker here. So this might be a card that I'd maybe have to pay a little bit more to send out or hand out to someone. Or you just don't even have to put the knot on there. You can just leave the ribbon around it on straight, which would work as well. But this is the white, I think it's called a 3/4 inch frayed ribbon, something like that. I forget the exact name of it, but I'm just going to cut this right across here and use some of my adhesive to glue that down. And that I just did right along, whoops, let me move that out of the way so you can see the card. So that I just did kind of right along the center here. Hello, Debbie, and welcome. Okay. So far, I have not heard my little pump thing come on, so we must be doing good. Although I can hear the water draining in there like crazy from all that rain. I actually came in the basement and sat down here for about an hour and a half. I just felt it was a little bit safer down here than being upstairs. I don't like storms though, so for me to be, and I was home alone, and I don't like storms. Okay, I had to get that straight. There we go. So you wouldn't have to put the little knot on there if you don't want to. But then from there, so see, here's a different color one. But again, it's all going to match and look beautiful. I used some dimensionals and adhered this down to the card. So I did use the dies to cut this flower out, but it came right from the paper. So there was no stamping, no coloring, none of that. It was all done for me. And we're just going to adhere that down on there. So for this one, I am going to leave that straight just so you can see the different variation. And then on a 1/2 inch strip of Whisper or basic white cardstock, I stamped the sentiment Best Wishes on there. And you could stamp any of them that you want on there. And I stamped it using the Melon Mambo ink. And I'm just going to trim off my edges here. And this time I'm going to actually cut this one at, I've been getting into this little angle thing. I really like that little angle look. And we're going to put that on with a couple of dimensionals as well. So I promise you that I will still make the little 3D holder and show it to you, but it might not be till next week. Just ran out of time. It was a little chapstick holder. I'm sorry. It was a chapstick holder that I found that was really cute, like a little booklet. And I was going to show you how to make that with this product suite. So just ran out of time with all of our monkey wrench thrown in our day today. All right, now you're going to be able to pick which ones of these you might want to put on there. So for this one, I'm going to actually go with, this great big, maybe, yes, this great big pink one. Pull that pink out. And then I'm just going to take a little one here. I don't want these flying everywhere. Sometimes they go flying on me. It's loose. Trying to use my pick tool more often. There you go. And there you have really pretty card. So again, you can see that ribbon going straight across looks really nice. You wouldn't have to do the little knot. If you do the little knot, I just cut another piece, put underneath there, tied it on. For mailing, this is going to be your better option. But yeah, isn't that cute? So, and the neat thing is the yellow is in the centers of all of the flowers. So if you're trying to find something, that's going to match and work and look good, always look for something in the designer paper that is neutral and in there for everything. So that's kind of how I chose the yellow for my my card base. I kind of do too, Janet. I think it looks kind of nice that way without the knot. Okay, so that is our first project. And a nice way to use that little designer series paper. Okay, my next project is, let me see here, which one is this? They're all stuck together in here now. Oh, it's this one. All right. So the next project is going to be this one right here. And again, I liked the ribbon on there. This is a good use of bringing in all the different colors of paper. So I used that really pretty blue one that I liked here. Again, added lots of layers to bring in all the different colors. So this paper has the pool party in it. So I incorporated in some of the pool party Melon Mambo, again, because I'm a pink person. But if you're not a pink person, this could have also been Night of Navy. It could have also been yellow. So you get lots of options. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking my cards. So for this one, though, I did choose to use the Night of Navy for my card base. And then I chose the to pull in that pool party. So 5 1/4 by 4 is pool party. And then I did a 5 by 3 3/4. And oh, I did use a different embossing folder. This one uses, I forget what this one is called. But it's carried over or I wouldn't have used it. So I think it might be like the paint one or something like that. So those two I just adhered together using my seal. So we're just going to adhere those together. So this one again is similar to the other one. I just used 2 pieces that were cut 4 by 3, and I'm just gonna offset them a little bit. That's all I did. So you can see here, they're cut the same size, and I just am gonna offset them and adhere it down to my card. So I like to just add a little bit of adhesive right down to the middle of this, and then just kind of offset them like that. And then adhere this down to the card base here. So, and this I even put on at a little bit of an angle as well. So this is not even on here straight. And then we're gonna add that ribbon in here again. So using the same white ribbon. Thank you, Patty. I'm just gonna cut this again to go around the layer here. And adhere that on. And sometimes those big ribbons can be really tricky to use, especially like I said, if you don't want to have all of the bulk and you want to be able to, you know, have it send to the mail. In that case, using it just like I did right here is your best bet, because it's still going to be lay pretty flat and you're still going to be able to get it to mail for just that one forever stamp. So I'm going to adhere that down to that. And then using the layering circles, I just cut out some ones to coordinate in the 2 colors. And then I stamped, so for this one, I used this flower right here. And I just stamped it in the Melon Mambo ink. So remember when I create for my classes, I don't like to use a lot of ink colors, because that way when they get the class, when some of you get my classes and you have the directions and what you need to do it, you don't have to have like 20 million ink pads out. You just, you know, have out the 1 or 2 colors that I used. So that is kind of why I tried to limit the inks so that it won't be having to pull your entire stash down. All right, and then this is going to go on here like that. And then this one I made a happy birthday card. And I'm going to cut this one at an angle again, the same way that I did that previous one. Again, it's just a 1/2 inch strip. And I'm going to put that on there with some dimensionals. Quick and simple, easy card. Nothing too fancy here with this one at all. And then I did think, though, that the flower needed a little pizzazz. So, oops, and I didn't make sure I got... So I did what I always tell you guys not to do. Make sure you get your dimensionals so they're not just on the ribbon, because otherwise this is going to be flimsy. So I should have put a dimensional right there, so I'm going to fix that. I don't like my cards to be flimsy like that, so I'm just going to make sure I get a dimensional underneath that piece, and that way it's stuck down really, really good. Okay, now we get to pick out one of these. And so for this one, I'm going to actually use the pool party colored one, because why not use something different? And put that right in the middle. Doesn't that just make it pop? I just think it makes it pop. And then I'm going to use a little one at the end of the happy birthday. And there you have that one. And again, that paper just makes it look so pretty. Takes out a lot of the design work for you. And again, you get different look by just using different little embossing or enamel dots there. Okay, so that is card number 2 for you. So this next one that I have, oh, this one was fun. So this was the last one that I created in my stash here when I made these cards. So I had a bunch of scraps left over, and you know, we all like scraps, right? So I just incorporated some of the scraps into the card and brought in some of the colors that were in it, and came up with this little color scheme. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I like this one a lot. So for this one, I chose to use the Coastal Cabana for my card base. So that will be the 8.5 by 5.5. And then what I did is I cut some of the little strips of paper. So now you could use any of these. You can see here, this one, I used the solid purple, but if you really wanted to use all patterned, you could. And then all I did when I had these strips was cut pieces that kind of coordinated. Now I don't have these measurements on the very off the top of my head, but they're designed in such a way that these will fit on here perfectly. So a neat little way, like I said, of using up scraps. But the white ribbon did not seem to look good going through the middle. So you can see that instead I chose to put on there some of the linen thread. And so I'm going to show you how easy it is to put that on as well. So I'm going to adhere this down to the card base. So, oh, Beth is congratulating Kay. Yeah, my team meeting last night, Kay was our swap card winner. So, yeah, some of my ladies that watch me and follow me have been able to see me live now 3 times this week. Beth, are you getting sick of me yet, my dear? So I did in case you guys missed it, go back and check it out. I did do my catalog kickoff event where I showcased more great products that I purchased once the whole catalog went live on Monday night. Last night was my team meeting, so any of my team members that can't attend in person can watch the meeting live or watch it on replay over Facebook. And then I'm here with you guys tonight. So, yeah, it's been a crazy. I'm not going to know what to do tomorrow night when it's come Tuesday or Thursday and I'm not live with you all. But, oh, thank you, Patty. You guys definitely make me feel the love. I love it. So, I just don't feel right not doing a Facebook Live with you all. All right. So have any of you ever wondered how they do this and make it look kind of nice and not a mess? Well, I'm going to show you how I do that and make it not a mess, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive down right here in the middle. So it's going to be kind of the whole technique of where I put the adhesive down, and then you remember how I zigzag it? Well, this time we are going to wrap it around our fingers to make loops. Now you can, and this being wrapped on this little this little spool, I have to kind of pull it and straighten it. Otherwise, it doesn't want to lay flat for me. So this is kind of what I do to get it to lay flat for me. So I have a little bit of it all pulled out. Now, depending on how wide you want this, would depend on how like how many fingers you're going to wrap your twine around. So I wanted it pretty wide. So what I did is I started here in like this. I hang on to it with my thumb, and I'm just going to wrap this around about 4 or 5 times. Okay, so I'm not even sure how many I did it, but you can see here, I'm going to move this over. And then I'm going to stop right at the same spot where I kind of started. All right, and I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut. All right, so now when I pull this off, I can hang on to those both spots where I have the ribbon where I stopped and started. So you can see here that I kind of have a good little loop here, right? Now what you're gonna do with this is I like to twist it to make the figure 8. And then I'm gonna adhere it down to the center of my card. Now those little ends are going to go kind of crazy on you. It's fine. We can cut them off later. So I'm adhering it down to my card. There's the figure 8, right? And then we're going to add our sentiment on. We're going to make it look nice and pretty in just a couple minutes. I did the sending many thanks for all you do. Thank you, Philomena. Yes, I think that that is a great tip as well with that twine. You have to kind of play with it to be able to work with it the way you want. Otherwise, it can be quite challenging to get that to lay flat. All right, and you can see that I gobbed a lot of that adhesive on, but we're going to be covering it up with our sentiment here. And this one's on a 3/4 inch strip of cardstock. And I'm just going to set this down right in the middle of where all that gabagoop is. Okay, now what you're going to do, so you can see here I ended it down here in the bottom. But now what you're going to do is you're just going to take your fingers and you're going to spread these apart to make it look more full. Now it will calm down later and sit, I mean mine is still kind of not the greatest there, but it will calm down later and give you the look that you really want with this kind of a technique. But you're just going to kind of separate them. Just going to peel them apart. And that is how you do it without it looking like a big gobbly-gooply mess. So I know sometimes people try to actually do it, and then if you don't like these being long, like I don't want that one to be that long, you're just going to cut off where you stopped and started and make them a little bit smaller, okay? But that is kind of my tip and trick on that, is that you want to be able to, the main thing is to hang on to it and pinch it good when you take it off of your hand, that you still have it, and then you just literally twist it and adhere it down to that card. So I'm hoping that tip helps you as well when you're trying to do this awesome little fun. But I just felt it needed a little something back there, and that is what I chose to use. And then I topped it off with, again, some of our glossy shapes here. So I'm going to use this big one and put it up here. And I'm just going to use a little one and put it down there. I'm afraid that spatula end's going to make it go crazy. Okay. And there you have it. Simple, simple, easy peasy. So I hope that that, again, helped you with that. So depending on how full you want that, you could wrap it around more times, less times, anything that you wanted to do. But here again, you're letting that paper really pull the card together for you. And I love this paper. It's so pretty. Okay, so that is card number 3. This next card is probably my favorite one, just because, I don't know, I like the colors of it, I guess. But it's this one right here. So here you're going to see where I did do the zigzaggy with that big ribbon, but I really like how that turned out. Thank you, Mary. I really, really like how that turned out. I need to get rid of some of these dimensional backings before I wear them all over my shirts. So give me 10 seconds here to throw those out. There we go. Okay. So for this one, I chose to use the Pool Party for the card base. Again, this, I think I said, it's probably one of my most favorite cards out of this collection that I created. Maybe it's because it's the pink. I don't know. But this is the 5.5 by 8.5 for the card base. And then I have my Flirty Flamingo that I used with this one. That is 5.25 by 4. And then I have a piece of basic white that's 5 by 3 3/4. And again, I use that well-worn, that's what it's called, well-worn embossing folder. So these we can just adhere together with some of our seal. And again, using that same paper, same paper, I just used the layering circles to cut out one of those flowers. So if you don't want to have to do the whole die cutting of the flower, you can just cut it out with the circles. Circles and I are friends. I like the circles. All right, and then I used a little strip of one of the designer series paper right down the middle to kind of tie this all in. So this, I believe, is a 2-inch, maybe it's 1 3/4 by 5, and then this is 1/4 inch bigger on this widthwise, so that it will line up perfectly and have a little overage all the way to the top and bottom. So they're all pretty, right, Courtney? This paper, you can't go wrong. I think that's kind of why I really like the floral things and why I gravitate to them, because you can never go wrong with floral card if you don't know what to use or what to send, because you can use it for weddings and anniversaries and sympathy and birthday. I mean, you can kind of use it for so many things. And so I think that's kind of why I gravitate to it. And then it usually has lots of bright and pretty colors in it. So it just makes it really nice to be able to work with. Okay, now we're going to do the zigzaggy ribbon this way. And again, we're going to put adhesive down where you know you're going to be covering it up. So I'm going to be covering it up right here, right? So we are going to start by cutting the ribbon at an angle, which I didn't do this last time because I ended it by just cutting it. But you want that at an angle, and you're going to unravel some of this. So all I do with this one is I start at an angle. Again, you bring it up, going over top that adhesive. So I may need to add, oh, I got more adhesive there. I was thinking I may have had to have added some more adhesive to it, but I got more adhesive there. Okay, and it will lay flat once you get it all on there. I'm just going to trim this off. I may have to add a little bit more adhesive underneath there, but that's fine. So we're just going to add a little bit more adhesive to that so that this will stick down like that. Okay, and you can see that I made this one a little bit smaller because you don't want to cover up all the paper. So I probably should have made this one a little bit. We're going to make it a little bit not so loop-de-looped. Gonna just make it a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna cut a little bit of that ribbon off. There we go. Can't cover up at all, it's too pretty. All right, there we go. And then I punched a circle using the Flirty Flamingo and one with the flower to coordinate, right? And I'm gonna adhere those two together using the regular seal. And then that's going to go on with some dimensionals. This one's my favorite one. I really think this one's my favorite. So, yeah, I like this one a lot. And then this I made into a friendship card. So I stamped the word friend. And this is going to go right in the middle here with dimensionals. So gorgeous. And again, that one, the friend will fit on a 1/2 inch strip. So I have it here already stamped, and that I used the Night of Navy ink. So those are the only two colors of ink that I think I used, is the Night of Navy and the Melon Mambo on these cards. So I'm just gonna put that on there like that, and adhere this down here. And again, we topped it off with some of these awesome dots. I'm going to pick the yellow this time. I think I'm going to pick the yellow. That big one is hard to get off. There we go. Pick the yellow one for the center. Watch it go flying on me. Does that ever happen to you when you pick it off there and they go flying? Thank you, Cindy. These cards were fun to do. Okay, and then this one's just going to go down here in the bottom. And there you have that one. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, now this last card that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I'm right on target here with my, and I moved this again out of the way. I'm a hog of my space, I guess, right? So anyway, I keep moving that out of my way, but this is the last card that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And this one I'm going to show you a neat little way in which I colored the flowers, because I just used a blending pen. I did not use anything else. I might need to run and get a blending pen. I don't think I have one at my table. So I'll have to go run and get that here in just a couple minutes. But I want to show you how easy it is to do that. So for this card, I chose the Granny Apple Green for my card base. Again, it just picked that out so nice, right? And then I paired it with some of the Mango Melody. Now, when you see these two colors together, you probably say, ew, that is disgusting. They're not very good together. Not really, but once you add that designer series paper, so here you can see it's in more of the pinks and the yellow hues. Here you were going to use it in more of the, when it graduated over to more of the blues and the purples. But once you add that, can you see how that just pops again? It just makes it pop. Okay, so we are going to adhere these down to my Melon Mambo layer here, top and bottom. Gonna have a little bit of a border showing. And then we're gonna run that ribbon right across the middle where those meet, okay? So these pieces of paper are 3.5 by 2 1/4, and this one is 4 3/4 by 3.5. So it's a little bit smaller, so you get more of that green to show. Isn't that awesome? So Courtney's asking if I can show Granny Apple Green next to Parakeet Party. Yes, I can. I will grab one of each of those out, and I will be happy to show you how they look together. Because yeah, it's I can tell you that the Parakeet is going to be a little bit of a brighter green, but sometimes the comparison is just really nice to have. So when I run to get my brush, I will grab those here too. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere this down to my card base here, like that. Okay, so then what I did is I stamped in advance. These are the 3 flowers that are from this right here. Okay, they're these right here, this one. I just stamped it 3 times. And did I drop a piece of cardstock? Maybe I don't have it. Okay, I might not have it, but I should have had a piece of this Melon Mambo behind it, but you're gonna pretend it's there, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I am going to color and show you how I colored these. So these I just stamped, let me move this out of the way real quick. These I just stamped using Melon Mambo ink. And then all you're gonna do, I need to make sure that this pen is nice and clean before I use it. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy and I don't clean things. So that's what I just did. When you use your blending brushes, you want to make sure that you clean them, okay? That you just get everything out. So that yellow was still in there from me being bad last time. But these you just keep using over and over and over again. And what I did on these is I just colored and blended the ink already there using these pens. And you can see that it's basically just bleeding that ink color. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to bring it in and show you. So I'm not actually picking up any ink. I'm just bleeding together a little bit of what is already there. Can you see that? Simple, easy peasy way of coloring. And you don't have to worry about having, the ink pad handy. You're just bleeding, and you don't want to do it too much. If you do it too much, you're going to lose your outline. So this is something, I call it more of your messy colored look, where you just want it to look like it's kind of watercolored and not completely colored. If I was to keep going over it, it would ruin the paper, and then it would also, oops, I forgot that one. And it would also kind of take away some of those lines. But do you see that? Isn't that awesome? Okay, oh, there's my piece of paper. All right. I had it, it was just hiding. So there is the piece that goes behind here. If I move my stuff out of the way, I would find it. So I believe this is a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, so 2.5 by 2.5. And then this I put on with some dimensionals. So since this kind of covers my flowers, covers my sentiment, I put it in the middle. And then what I did, and yes, I did fussy cut these, I fussy cut the 2 flowers to put on the 2 ends like that. So we're going to put this on with some dimensionals here. So let me put this on here like that. And peel those off. Okay. And then this is going to go on right in the center. And then I just fussy cut out these flowers. So we're just going to kind of go around them. One of the dies may have worked for these, but I didn't do them that way because it's just 2 flowers. So for me, I can just fussy cut. But it may have worked. I just thought about that. I get into my own little creature of habitness and I forget to check. But I think this one may have had a die that went with it. But there's one. And almost done with the second one here. I think it cut out some of them, but not all of them, because there's different little designs in them. So for me, it's just as easy to just do it this way than to figure out which one's got a die and which one doesn't all the time. So, okay. And then those are just going to go on with a couple dimensionals. I know you do, Patty. I got to work with you. You'll get it. You'll get there soon. Patty is one of my gals that just hates the fussy cut. She usually has to recruit one of us to do it. All right, so there you go. And then I added a couple of those embellishments. So let's add, oh, I'm gonna go with pink again because why not? Because pink's on the card, so we're gonna go with pink. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the cards too, Rhonda. They're, yes, aren't they fun? Okay, so there's that one. And like I said, I had good intentions to create a chapstick holder. I had all of the stuff written down on how I was going to do it, and I just completely, with the flood this morning, got sidetracked. And you know how you have a day planned and then something puts a monkey wrench in it and it just changes your whole day? It's kind of how my day was today. Oh, and I also added one to the two flowers. So we'll add, I'll add a yellow one to the yellow one. Now we'll add a blue one. I'm going to change it right up. We'll add a blue one here, if I can get it off my sheet. There, they got two of them. All right, it's okay. We're going to add a blue one here. And since the other blue one came up with it, we're going to add a blue one there, or a pool party. So there you got two pool party ones on that one. All right, so Courtney asked me if I would showcase the difference between Parakeet Party and the Granny Apple Green. So let me grab a piece real quick. Okay, so here is the Parakeet Party. Sorry, silence for you guys there for a minute. And I'm just going to use the back of this so you can kind of see the difference here. So you can see it's a lot brighter. So there's your Granny Apple Green, and then there's your Parakeet Party. So your Parakeet Party is more like the Lemon Lime twist was, I think. And then this one actually, I think when you put these two together, that the Granny Apple Green actually almost makes it look old olive, doesn't it? But yeah, no, that's Granny Apple Green I used. So that's what they look like. Hope that helps you, Courtney, with colors. Okay, little bit, lot brighter. Okay, so let me bring back in all of my cards from tonight's presentation. Like I said, I apologize that you do not have a 3D project tonight. I just simply ran out of time, ran out of steam, I should say, today. But here is all the cards that I created with you tonight using this Hue of Happiness bundle. So I hope that it's inspired you to add this one to your list. I think it's a good one to have just for any kind of generic cards that you might need. Even if you didn't put all of your sentiments on, you could just do them, do them without the sentiments on them. So anyway, if you're interested in placing an online order now through Sunday night, a minimum $35 order will get you 3 of the projects that I'm featured here tonight sent to you in the mail, already completed. And those of you that did the order option last week for my tea boutique stuff, it's going out tonight. I apologize. I did not get down here over the weekend to get that out. And I'm going to ask for and beg for forgiveness if I'm a little bit slower getting things out over the next 2 to 3 weeks, as we have all kinds of end of year stuff with a graduate, prom, dance recital, end of year orchestra concerts, graduation open house. So I'm just gonna beg for your forgiveness a little bit if things are a little bit more timely getting to you. Please know they will get there, okay? But that plus working a job that takes time as well. So anyway, just want to make sure you guys know that you are a priority, but I appreciate your flexibility so that I can enjoy a little bit of the life stuff that goes on as you're child graduates and blooms and grows. So, all right. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed my presentation tonight. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I think next week I'm going to be showcasing some masculine cards for Father's Day. I think it's going to be that He's All That bundle is what I think I have on my calendar. I'll make sure and take lots of pictures to share with all of you. Also, the bingo kits, if you're doing my online fun party online bingo, those kits are going out tomorrow. So I'll be getting them ready, actually, right after my Facebook Live with you all tonight. So those will be going out for you as well. All right, thank you all so very much. I will definitely enjoy the weekend and take lots of pictures and share it all with you, and I appreciate you all so very much. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we will see you back here next week. Bye.